There is tremendous civil unrest in America right now around racial injustice. It hurts my heart to see people suffer, but I don't know how to help in the most positive ways.
This morning I prayed. Somebody's going to ask me this question. And I said to Master, help me to not cry and to find the best answer. It's so painful what's going on right now. You know, we're here in this play. We're here as human beings because we have a lot of spiritual progress to make. We cannot help but feel what's going on at that deeply human level. There's no way, if your heart, one has a heart, which of course we all do. I know this wasn't exactly your question, but I want to say it. There is no way to not feel the injustice, the pain, the utter inhumanity of some of what's going on. There's no way not to realize that there are souls who are born, who are on the same path we are. But, as Swamiji says, this path is long and winding, and we're not all at the same place on the very same path. And wherever we are, we need to be in this world with people who still feel that they are being satisfied, winning, justifying themselves, even finding love in ways that look to us utterly, not just appalling, but impossible. Just, there's no reckoning with it in the human mind and in the human heart. One cannot. I've told a story several times that within this story lies the pain of it and the answer to it. And in fact, I might have told this story in the last question and answer period that we had, but it's worth telling again. Years ago, I was in a conference, a meeting, with a spiritual teacher whose name is Ram Dass. He died not that long ago, but he was a very great soul. He knew a lot about truth. And in this meeting, somebody mentioned a woman whose young child had just died. I don't even remember how it came up. And several people spoke to and about, several people in the audience, that woman whose child, maybe the woman was there. I don't even remember now. This was a lot of years ago. But the woman was anguishing. She was crying a lot. She was really grieving and grieving in an emotional way. And people started to speak up, and they started saying, well, she just doesn't understand anything about a spiritual life, just shows that she has, how immature she is spiritually. One of the people said, soon as she realizes nothing really happens when you die, her child didn't really go anywhere. All of the truths that we can hear, but run through gross misunderstandings, unknowings at some really unfortunate level of the human condition. And when everybody else was done speaking, and obviously it was going to now go to Ram Dass for him to comment, that man just started sobbing. He just sobbed. I mean, whole body shaking for 5 minutes. That's a very long time when you're in an audience of hundreds watching this great spiritual teacher that you've come to see. And when he finished crying, he just sat there as still as he could be for a minute or two, and then he moved on to the next question, the next point. And that sobbing and that silence just spoke volumes to me. It really allowed me to see that there are things in this world that are unspeakably painful. They can never be dealt with at the human level. They can only be dealt with by holding on to what we know to be true spiritually. God is with every soul. He is every soul. He sees exactly what is happening. He will intervene in exactly the way he knows it is the correct way to intervene, and correct way here means allowing people to move through certain karma, allowing other people to be, unfortunately, creating more horrible karma, and to be helping those of us who desperately want to be moving towards the light, to move towards the light. People are creating their own karma. God can only help them when he knows that they are open to his help. He cannot force that. And our job, those of us who have come to where we've come to, is to pray for the well-being of every soul. Even in our healing prayer today, I said, pray for a spark of light to enter into some of those souls that are still so lost in darkness that they haven't yet been able to see the light. That more violence doesn't need to be perpetrated as a means of undoing violence. That those great souls who have come before us, the Mahatma Gandhis, the Martin Luther Kings, that their spirit prevail right now, and that each of us, with as deep, as expansive, as uplifted an ability as we have to hold our own experience, our knowing of non-violence, of true love, that we just keep filling the world with it until soon the light overpowers the darkness and people will be drawn to it. I was watching the news last night saying to myself, how is this helping? Picking up canisters of tear gas and throwing them in the face of policemen. I understand. I understand the rage. I understand the injustice. I feel it myself. But we know that the way through this is not that end. People are where they are, and they need to move forward in the way they need to move forward. Our job is to bring light here, to love everyone, to be able to watch the news and to open our heart that the people who are demonstrating, the people whose lives have been lost, the people who are being treated so badly, so unjustly, and the people who are trying and doing their best to make it better, and those who are in positions of power who are still not making it better, everyone, that we send our love to everyone. Masters said a room can be in darkness for thousands of years. The instant you turn on a light, the darkness disappears. That light is God's love. That light is the light of infinite consciousness. To whatever degree each of us own it, we have to transcend our own emotional reaction, transform it into pure love, and bring that love into the world. The more love there is in this world, as it expands, as it grows, the less hate there can be. That's the only answer. To live what we know to be the truth, as hard as it is. And will we get pulled in? I was sobbing with the news last night. I was literally sobbing. It's painful. That's the truth in this world, is that God is everything. God is all the light and he's all the dark. And I had to keep looking at that news and reminding myself of that. Every bit of it is a manifestation of divine energy. I don't see it. I don't see the purpose. I don't totally see the way out. You know, you want to scream at God. If you have all that power, just come, touch them, heal them, put the light in them. Not yet. It's up to us. We are God's channels. That's how we have to be right now. And trust God. Open to that light, let it come through, and trust.